Hi guys, doing a video today about watch styling. This is a question I get a lot. What watch should I wear with what outfit? So I'm going to try and go through a few of the rules and a few things that I think about when I'm trying to decide what watch to wear with my clothing. I would like to caveat that with, watches are a very personal thing. Like, these are just guidelines. If you decide you just want to wear something that completely doesn't match because you just love that watch so much, do it. It's fine. This is just a guideline. All right, let's dive in. We've got a few pieces here. First thing I look at, case diameter, right? So here we've got the reissue of the 1957 Speedmasters. That's in the smaller case, 38.5 millimeters, but it's the biggest case of everything I have on the table here. We have the Naoya Hida in 37 millimeters. We have an Armoury Model 1 in 36 millimeters. We have a Grand Seco. This is the reissue of the 1961, also 36 millimeters. And then we have this, which is 45 GS, vintage piece. Also, that's probably 37 millimeters. When I look at these, I'm looking at case diameter. I'm looking at how big is the dial and how small is the bezel, because that does affect how big or small it feels. Like this may be only 1 millimeter larger than this, but because it's so, because the bezel is so thin, like it feels like a little bit bigger than this really is. I'm also looking at color. So for instance, like I find that dark colored dials tend to wear a little bit smaller than light colored dials. I'm also looking at straps. So with the straps, anything that's exposed stitching, and especially that has exposed contrasting stitching, to me is always very casual. So in the case of the Speedmaster, the suede strap with these extra stitching details, and the Naoya Hida, the textured strap with the contrasting stitching, like that definitely feels more casual to me than, say, the Anne Ordain's strap, despite the strap being a little bit simpler in construction. Like it's not domed, it's just cut edge. And to me, these feel like dressy straps, right? So in this case, like no stitching at all, just stitched, and just glued, and in this case, glued as well. Okay, let's take some of these things and put them with outfits and analyze it. So I've got 3 mannequins set up here. I've got a kind of fancy formal, herringbone stripe and a fine cloth striped shirt and olive tie. I've got something that's kind of smart casual preppy. So it's blue cotton suit. And then I've also got this, which is a little bit more like Italian elegant, check jacket, light blue shirt, blue tie. These two are probably similar in terms of formality, and this one is a little bit more formal. Okay, let's start with the Speedmaster. Speedmaster here, to me, is a little bit difficult. Like I can't quite make that work in my head. It's partly because of the strap, it's partly because of the diameter, it's partly because of the sportiness of the whole thing. So for a formal outfit, I can't stretch to that. But in this case, I think it looks pretty good. I think having that little bit of exposed stitching, the colors, I think it works quite nicely together. I actually like it best though with this. And this is where, the details really matter. So like this particular Speedmaster has what's called a fauxtina. So what a fauxtina is imitation aged markers, right? So that's why everything, instead of being kind of white or ivory for the hour markers, is much yellower, kind of closer to a mustard color. I like the way those colors bring out the colors of the jacket. And so if I was to put this watch with one of these 3 outfits, I would put this one. Okay, let's move on. Naoya Hida. The dial of this is definitely dressy feeling. It's the strap that really makes it more casual. So in this case here, again, like that lighter colored strap with the exposed stitching, with this contrast stitching, is a little too loud for me. Like I find it hard to wear this kind of strap, with such a formal looking suit. In this case, I really like it. Like with that preppy style jacket, which has a lot of machine stitching, like I feel like the machine stitching here on the jacket and the stitching on the strap match really well together. And then in this case, I also think that works. I prefer it, I think, with the blue cotton suit, But in this case, what's interesting is that, you know, the hands on this are very blued. And so the blued hands really pick up that blue check in the jacket. But for me, like, I think the Naoyahida goes over here. Okay. Next, let's do the Anodane. The Anodane, I think if it was on a darker strap, you could probably get away with it here. It's a little quirky, but I quite like the richness of that dial. And if you had like a dark chocolate strap, I think it would work well with the suit. I mean, I think that, you know, you should imagine, what are the shoes I'm gonna wear? What are the leather accessories that I'm gonna have on my body, right? Like, what color is my belt gonna be, or what color is my shoes gonna be? You don't have to match it, but I think it is nice when they do match. And I wouldn't wear like a tan colored shoe with this suit. Like, I just think it's too much. But I think a dark brown with this would look great, and I think a dark brown with this dial would also look great. So I like that with that. I do like it with this as well. The strap is somewhere between kind of dressy and sporty. And I like the details on the dial with this suit. Like, they're very utilitarian, which is what I imagine when I see an Ivy style suit, especially one like the Model 11. It also goes okay with this. The blue for me is a little too purple and strong, so it's not my first choice. So in this case, this watch probably over here. Okay. Final, well, two more. So we have the Grand Seiko, solid gold case. I love it here, just not with this strap again. Like, I think this needs to be a dark brown strap. It needs to be a chocolate alligator strap. I think the style of the strap works beautifully. And, you know, like, I can already imagine how great this would look if this was chocolate brown and you had a dark brown pair of shoes matching it. You know, if you look at it here, again, not bad, actually. I like this together as well. And I think I like this together because this style of suit is such an old 60s style. And this watch, you know, came from exactly 1960, that they just seem to belong in the same era together. So I like that together a lot. And even in this case, actually, I like it too. Like, I like seeing that glint of gold with all of these slightly less saturated colors. I think that looks really beautiful together. And I can really imagine this outfit with a pair of tan shoes. I think it would look great. So for me, this watch and this with this strap should be on this outfit. Okay, finally, 45GS, which is an old vintage high beat watch that Grand Seiko put out many years ago. I like that. That's nice, right? Because I can imagine this with black shoes as a very conservative or semi-conservative, because of the amount of pattern we have in it, kind of outfit. And, you know, like, the dial would speak so well to black shoes as well, because the dial, the markers on the dial actually have, if you can see that, little stripes of black in them as well. In this case, I find this a little funny. This suit is very blue, and I don't find these like very flat blacks work well with these very blue suits. If it was navy, it'd be a different story, but in a blue, not so much. So I would not do that, and I might do that. There is a little bit of warm color in the dial. Like, it's not a silver, it's really more like an aged silver. So I don't mind that together also. I think it would look good if it had a brown strap or a tan strap, something like that. But anyway, so this one goes over here. And there we go. Just a little intro to how to style watches with clothing. I will show you some bracelet watches next time. I'll show you a few other kind of interesting variations, and also show you maybe things with thicker cases or even larger cases than this 38.5mm I have here. This was fun to do. I actually have never really put these guidelines together before, so I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks for watching.